You call me a saint, but you know I'm a stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thing.
All right, good morning, guys. Welcome, Smarter Options. Let's go over some of the stocks. Do some out here. First, let's just look at ES real quick, just because I feel like that'll be a good one to start with. Please, if you have any stock requests, put them in the comments. All right, we're going to review everything on the 1 hour today, just because I'm not looking for necessarily price action just today, right? We want the 1 hour should take anywhere from a day or two for the week to play out. So let's just look for what we can look for the next couple of days, right? I don't want to post something that's going to only last for 5 minutes. So what we have here, more symmetrical triangle. Which ways it's going to break out? We're going to go over that here in a second, but you can see we're getting wedged here. Okay, so we're going to be making a move. Don't really have anything. I mean, everything's lining up as far as bearish and bullish divs, right? We're getting lower highs, higher lows. Well, here we're getting lower lows, I guess, a little bit. But this, I mean, right here, it's lining up, right? Nothing really clear here to show us what's going to happen is my point. Let's go look at MNQ, just because, NQ leads ES. So let's look at MNQ real quick. So now here we have more of a rising wedge, rising wedge. Rising wedges tend to break down eventually. Okay, so while we could push higher, eventually they do tend to break down. And it could break down at any point, right? It doesn't necessarily have to get all the way up here to here. We could break out anywhere. We have gotten above the 9 and 20 EMA. Here's the 50 EMA. I'd imagine that lines up right about with here by the time it gets up here. If it makes it that high, I don't think it'll get through that. Just my opinion. Okay. Here you can see from here to here, we got a higher high with a lower high, right? So a higher high with a lower high would be a bearish div, just showing us that it's going to reverse, pull down here. It happened. Okay. And then we got a higher low right here with a lower low. That's a hidden bullish div, which just shows us that support's going to hold and it's going to continue up. And that's what's happened so far. What happens next is if this keeps pushing up and this doesn't get any higher, right, that bearish div continues, and we'll push that back down. Okay. Good morning, Brian. So that's really all I see with MNQ. I mean, I don't see a ton on MNQ or ES on a way to what's going to happen today. So let's look at some stock names and see if we can tell from that. American Airlines. Actually, I kind of like this for a long. I mean, I'm not going to probably post anything for a long, but we are getting higher lows. Okay, we'll put it in green since it's bullish. We're getting higher lows and lower lows. Okay. The higher lows is a hidden bullish divergence showing that support's going to hold. Okay, I could see this going back up and retesting 17, or maybe getting back to these EMAs at least to retest, which would make sense. We broke a support here and we never came back and retested. So I'd say it's probably going back to $17, but I'm not going to post it on this. That's not a big enough move to post. I'm not going to put any options on this. I just wanted to show you guys. That's one of the bullish runs I found. BA. Here we go. Boeing. Okay. Boeing, I was actually looking at the 2 hour chart here. And you can see we're getting higher highs with lower highs. I would expect this to go back down and retest, first go back down and retest 132, then 126, and probably eventually 117. I'm actually thinking about posting a 2-week out. Since it's on a 2-hour chart, I'd maybe do a 2-week short put on this. It's actually, I'm going to probably post that this morning. All right, let's look at BABA real quick. Back to the 1-hour chart. Now notice it's up at pre-market here. Okay, so we are getting higher highs with lower highs. That's bearish. All right. I think this is, so here's where the price is at. And when market opens, you can see there's not a lot of strength to that. It's pre-market. Okay. So I totally think this is going to pull back down. I would do I'd probably post a put this morning for this week on BABA. All right. So I like BABA for a put. Another one I looked at was Baidu. Okay. Here, let's just look at extended hours, and sometimes you gotta look at both, right? So here we had a bearish divergence, lower highs, higher highs. Sure enough, in pre-market that hit 150 and it came all the way back to 139, dropped $11. Held right at open, 145, went up and hit 148, but that day, I'm sorry, it opened up down here, so my apologies. So it ran up on this run up is where you would have shorted it, okay? And you would have been fine by the end of the day. Same thing the next day, you just would have lost some premium. So here we're doing it again. We're getting not necessarily higher highs, but we're going back and touching again, and we are still in the bearish div. Bulls keep trying to push it up, but they're getting weaker and weaker. Okay, I would say this is most likely probably a double top for Baidu. I like Baidu for a short also. Go back down and retest 137 at least, which is the next major support. Okay. So I like Baidu for a put. I'll post that this morning. Caterpillar. Like I said, guys, I went through and just found some really, what I thought were really good setups this morning. Okay, so Caterpillar, here again, we are pushing up a lot, and yet we are not getting new higher highs. Bulls are wearing out. And what I like about Caterpillar is when this has happened before, right? Look at this. As it kept pushing up, it caused for gigantic failure down to major support lines. Okay, and now we are pushing higher again, and we are wearing thin, and it's up pre-market. Look, extended hours, so just look at this. But still not a lot of strength. We're going up a lot and not many more buyers. So I like this for a put. Okay. We posted that. I will be taking a Caterpillar put this morning. Yes, Mike, I will talk about Microsoft also. Let's go look at Microsoft real quick, actually, before I keep moving on. Thank you for that. Yep, plans for Microsoft. We posted that in the room. Okay, Microsoft. I'll show you guys what I took here. So I was looking at normal trading hours when I did this, but here you can see that it keeps getting bought up. Okay, I mean, it keeps bouncing around here, but we are progressively getting weaker here. This is just showing how fast. So the buyers keep trying, but they are wearing out fast. And I would expect sellers to take this opportunity to sell for profits up here and sell some more. Anybody who had bought it. Okay. Here was another bearish div, similar, right? We pushed back up. We got lower highs, I guess it's just a little different because this is a bearish hidden div, but still. So we were getting higher highs with lower highs, and even when it bounced here, we still never got your stop loss would have been if it got above 293 here. As long as it was below 293, this hidden bearish div was in play. So right here, as long as the price keeps staying up here, this bearish div is in play, in my opinion. I still like this for. I think what's going to happen is I think this is probably your true move right here. This gap down. We went and filled that gap, and it's struggling, but I think this is probably where it wants to go, and it was at a support right here. So I think Microsoft's going back down towards 260. So that's my plans for Microsoft, Mike. We have time this week. I really think, like I said, this keeps trying to push up higher, but I'm seeing lots of bearish divs set up in the market. So let's go look at cost. That was another one I was looking at. I'm not going to take a play on cost because cost has been expensive, but we are getting bearish divs. Same thing. We're getting higher highs with lower highs. Okay. This is buyers are pushing up, and we're reaching the 200 EMA on Costco. I doubt it's going to get there, but even if it does, that's going to hold, in my opinion, with this, unless we get a lot of strength here and all of a sudden we get a new higher high on the MACD. This bearish div will be in play. CRM. I actually liked CRM. There we go. There's a gap to fill, right? And CRM, I was actually looking at, this would be more of a leap. This is on the 4-hour chart. I was looking at this. Okay. We are getting higher highs with continual lower highs. Okay. Higher high, but much lower high. This looks like a pivot point to me. I like CRM. I would take this for probably at least 2 weeks out. But last time, let's just see here. Yeah, last time we got one of these, right? So from there to there, put it in red. Okay, last time we got higher highs, and there's actually 2 here, and it kept pushing. This is why you gotta give yourself some time on the 4-hour chart, right? So here's your first one. We got a higher high. And while it did pull back a little bit, it kept pushing higher, but the MACD was not. So this took from October 19th until November 8th. So maybe we might even want to take this a month out. But and then you average down as it goes, right? But eventually, when it turned by December 1st, it had dropped, from 310 to 250, a 60-point drop. So this would be more of a put leap. Okay, but I think we're going back down to test 154 again, maybe lower. All right. This is just starting to turn. We might be okay waiting a day or 2 on this, but I think if the rest of the market falls, this is going to fall. So I don't think I'll post this one today, but I am going to watch CRM. I do like that for a put. Google. Okay, Google, this is a relatively short play, 60-minute hour chart. Okay, once again, we are getting higher highs, or we're trending upward, but we're trending downward in strength. Okay, gives indications that the support is eventually not going to hold, and we're going to go down and retest. Now, we might only retest a 2180. This is the 1 hour, and it's not a real, this is still bearish div, but it's not a real. I like it when there's when this gets to be a little bit steeper, right? We can have that was a steep one, and we fell from. Let me move this. We fell from 2367 or 2380, whatever, down to 2280. We fell $100 in a day. So once again, we are at a higher high with lower highs. I like Goldman Sachs for a put, which is the bank. So that's another indication that we're going to go red. Okay, so kind of talked about breakouts before. I'm going to show you guys one. Before I go over this real quick, I'm going to go over MES. If you guys watched my Ice King Insights last week, and I should have posted a play, I was busy programming the new bot. So, but that pop last week was expected. I posted an Iceman Insights or Ice King Insights that there was a bullish div on the 1 hour. This is that bullish div I posted. Okay, and I posted right here. That bullish div over the course of the next 2 days gave way to over 100 points. Okay, I mean, this was posted on June 1st, and by so next day, 100 points next day. That run up, I think I posted that's Wednesday. That run up on Thursday was expected. I posted to you guys. Everybody should have kind of known it was going to be a green day. I will look at Docu Disher. One second. So, but once again, now we're getting a wedge pattern, and the wedge pattern is going along with what we see. Now we are losing quite a bit of buyer strength. Okay. I think that indicates also that just like MNQ, I think we're going to go lower again. But then we see. But I'm seeing lots of bearish div setups. But anyway, Thursday, we should have known that was going to be a bull day. 1 hour chart ran up 100 points the next day. And it's the whole day, right? 15-minute chart, kind of 5-minute chart can be used for scalping. 1 hour chart should be, 1 or 2, 3 days. What we should be looking at. All right, go back to Goldman Sachs here. Okay. Goldman Sachs, okay, it's getting quite a bit weaker. Bulls are giving out. We're not getting higher highs, so there's no bearish div here. Now, here was a bearish div, this little small one right here. We were getting higher highs while the MACD was not getting any higher. Eventually it gave out and went for support. Now we're sitting against this wall. We're getting a little bump pre-market. Let's look at extended hours real quick. Actually, extended hours, we've broken out this trend line. Now we're going back and touching. This is exactly where you would take a put normally, right? We've lost support. You go back up and retest for resistance. I guess we'll just see what happens when the market opens. But as long as this stays below 325, I like this for a put. First price target would be the height of recent moves. So right here, okay, first price target would be down to here, which is a support line. Okay, next one is the height of the channel. That'd be your next target, and that goes down to a support line also, right? This all makes sense. It all works out. So I like this for a put with a target back down to 300. Let's go look at Docu real quick since we had a request. ER is on June 6th. Is it next week or this week? Looks like it's today. Probably after hours, I'm guessing. I have to go look that up, but I don't like to traditionally play earnings because of, because they do increase premium on options, you get premium burn, and then it doesn't always make sense, right? I mean, somebody wants the stock to move a certain direction, they make it move that way. Doesn't necessarily mean logically it's going to go. Okay, here we had a bearish div setting up. That is still in play. And we're also getting a hidden bearish div right here as we're getting higher lows. Or I'm sorry, this is a hidden bullish div. Yeah, higher lows, lower lows a little bit. So, I mean, that would explain this bounce. right? But until we get a new higher high, so I don't know, Blake. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see. This is bouncing right now. Had a bearish dip from Friday, which is playing out this morning, right? I mean, 88. Or I guess that was Thursday, and then it dropped on Friday to 82. And now we're sitting right between. It's trying to make up its mind. So I don't have any opinion on Docu right now. We could go out a little bit and look at 2 hour maybe. 2 hour, this is still looking bearish. I mean, we're still heading down. It looks like. But no clear signs, no good entry right here in my opinion. I mean, your good entry would have been up here. So to keep an eye on Docu. Melly, I like Melly for a longer term short. Which the only problem with Melly is it's a little expensive. That's Moderna. Melly right here. Once again, we're getting an ascending wedge, which normally breaks down, almost always eventually breaks down to the downside. Okay. Here you can see we were getting higher highs with lower highs, all indications that at some point here this is going to break down. Not a good entry point on this. Either a good entry point would be when this starts to break or back at the top of this channel. Okay, and you guys can draw this on your own charts, or you can watch me take a play if I catch it. Oh, it's Thursday PM. That's weird. That's weird that TradingView has it set up for today or showing today. Tesla, last one I had on my list to look at. Let's just take a quick look, and then market's going to open. Okay, Tesla. After Thursday, right? So Thursday we had a bull run up. Okay. But even with that bull run up, right, we got a nice run up, but no increased strength in the MACD. This shows us that it was about to turn, or I mean, through this whole run up anywhere in here, once you got above the previous high, once you got above 780, that would have been signed to short without increased strength here. Okay, especially as it started to turn again. Because short of this, Friday you would have opened up, from, even if you had taken it towards the close, 775. Next day it dropped 75 points in the first 2 hours. Okay, which would have been a nice if you had a weekly, especially especially if we had taken this on Thursday. I really wish I would have been watching a little closer on Thursday instead of programming the bot, but hey, we got that up and available now for anybody that wants to copy trade it. Anything else you guys want to see real quick before we log off? We could look at VIX real quick and see what we're seeing on VIX. Okay, so here we actually see a bullish move on VIX, which would be bearish in our market. Okay, because we don't want to see a bullish move on VIX. Higher VIX means more volatility. Okay, but here we had lower lows with higher lows. Okay. And now this is kind of playing out with what we would expect, right? I mean, it's nothing too crazy here. Let's see if there's any other patterns going on. You can see we've kind of had a resistance right there. So here we kind of have a descending wedge. Okay. Descending wedge traditionally breaks to the upside. So while it may not be ready quite yet, we could rally off this 200 EMA support. You can see here we hit the 100 EMA and it just went skyrocketing. Okay. Here it hit the 50 EMA. So I mean, this is interesting, right? So May 5th, we hit the 50 EMA, went skyrocketing. May 17th, we hit the 100 EMA, went skyrocketing. And now, if we hit this sometime this week, we could be going to the 200 EMA. And once again, we could go skyrocketing. Once again, all this stuff kind of shows us the same thing, and which is I just don't think we have a bullish market this week, or at least in the next couple days. I see lots of bearish dips playing out. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go to it. Good luck today. I'll be posting some plays this morning. Like I said, my favorite ones this morning were I like Boeing for a short, but at least 2 weeks out. I like Baba for a short, Baidu for a short, and Cat for a short. All right, guys. Good luck today. See you in chat.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup.